This is Tank's Vlog, January 2nd, 2019. Wrapping up today in sports. We're brought to you by Allow Me to Be Frank, the weekly podcast you can hear on SoundCloud and iTunes. Woo, 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 woo. Woo, 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 woo. Alert, 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 alert. New episode of Allow Me to Be Frank dropping Wednesday morning. Keep your ears out. Listen for SoundCloud and iTunes. Brand new episode talking about my trip home, my Idaho vacation, the Dolphins, and all things football. So listen. You'll be sure to enjoy it. As the final bowl games were being played at the most historic hallowed grounds in college football, there was a hockey game as the Chicago Blackhawks took on the Boston Bruins in the Winter Classic this year in South Bend. It's not been a good year for the Blackhawks, who made a big mistake in firing Joe Quenneville. And the Blackhawks twice grabbed the lead, twice gave up power play goals. Then in the third period, it was a man from Dublin, Ohio that is, Sean Corley, who got the game winner for the Bruins. Boston won 4-2. Nobody's played in more outdoor games in the NHL than the Blackhawks, who have played in 6 of them and have lost 5 times. 5 times. 5 times. 5 times. 5 times. So much so that the NHL has guaranteed that the Blackhawks will not be playing in the Winter Classic next year when it comes to the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. Dallas? Why Dallas? I like the fact that they're doing new places. But to me, shouldn't the Nashville Predators get a nice Winter Classic at home? What, they don't think that they could draw that many fans in Nashville? I think they can. And I think the Predators are one of the more exciting teams, can win the Stanley Cup, perhaps. I think the NHL might have missed the boat a little bit on this one. So if it's not going to be the Blackhawks, if it's not going to be the Bruins, I guess we'll be watching the Pittsburgh Penguins next year, the Dallas Stars. In other action on the ice, more traditional affairs, it was those Nashville Predators blanking the Flyers 4-0. And it was the Vegas Golden Knights, with Marc-Andre Fleury getting his 6th shutout of the year, to beat the Los Angeles Kings 2-0. As the new year starts, the race is starting to shape up in the NHL. And right now, there is no team hotter than the Tampa Bay Lightning. Though the Vegas Golden Knights are rising again, the Winnipeg Jets are on top in the Central. The Champs are leading the Metropolitan, and the Devils, hopefully, they can get back in the playoff race thanks to Mackenzie Blackwood. Let's go to the NBA. Tank. Yes, that's right. The New York Knicks continue to tank as they lost lost Tuesday to the Denver Nuggets 115-108. Dropping the Knicks on the year to 9-29. It was the 76ers 113 over the Clippers. The Raptors beat the Jazz 122-116. The Bucks beat the Pistons 121-98. It was the Trailblazers, not trailing, beating the Kings 113-108. Let's move on to the bowl games for today. The last of the bowl games. Used to be that the biggest bowl games were on New Year's Day. With the way the structure is now, that's no longer happening, but there was still a good number of bowl games. We had Iowa over Mississippi State. The Hawkeye special teams were especially strong in this one, beating Mississippi State 27-22 in a bit of an upset. It was Kentucky holding off a late charge from Penn State, 27-24, as Trace McSorley's career ends on a sore note. The long winning streak of Central Florida is finally over at 25 games as they were beaten and humbled by LSU 40-32. Big game by Joe Burrow, passing for 394 yards with 4 touchdowns. In the Fiesta Bowl. In the Rose Bowl, it was another late comeback attempt. This time it was Washington's comeback falling short as Ohio State held on to win 28-23. And in the Sugar Bowl, Georgia, you did not belong in the playoffs. And you got your butt kicked by the Texas Longhorns. Final score, 28-21 Longhorns. We almost had a Wild Kingdom at the Sugar Bowl as Bevo tried to go after Uga. My money would have been on Bevo on that one. Alright, today's 3 stars are Joe Burrow of LSU with his 394 yards passing and 4 touchdowns for LSU's win over Central Florida. We got UC Saros, who had 32 saves in a shutout win over the Flyers for the Predators, and Yusuf Nurk of the Trailblazers, who had 24 points, 23 rebounds, 7 assists, and 5 block shots in their win over the Kings. Today's birthday shout-out is for a man who should get to qualify in the Hall of Fame this year, Edgar Martinez, who turns 56. And we take a look back to 1984, when the U came into its own, when they beat Nebraska 31-30 in the Orange Bowl to win their first national championship. What's interesting is Nebraska, if they would have tied this game, would have won the national championship with a tie. But instead, Tom Osborne, showing some guts, balls, and integrity, wanted to win and went for 2 and missed. Touching off the new powerhouse for Miami, and the college football world was never the same. So check out the story at Barstool Sports and Sports Encyclopedia, where sports history lives. Also keep an eye out. I will be doing more cooking videos this year on Barstool, and if there's anything you want to see, just give me an email or drop me a line on Twitter. What do you want to see on Tank's Vlog? Good day. And don't forget, do allow me to be frank. Do allow me to be frank.